Greetings, fellow humans. 9 March 2023. And this morning, I was not up at a crazy early time, but I was up at 4 o'clock. And semi-well rested. This Virgo full moon really started working on me a few days ago and had me up. Gosh, I would go to bed at 10 o'clock and be up wide awake at midnight, 1 o'clock, and just stay up. And one night I actually just made a pot of coffee. So first thing we need to do is our prayer. Angels go before us, angels come behind, angels to our left, angels to our right, angels above and angels below. We are safe and protected everywhere we go. Where I am this morning, Angels Flyers, is the place where for about a year, I would sleep here when I lived on the street. This was the safest place. There were fire trucks at night, ambulances. Sleep right there up against that wall. With the head facing this way, so that I could see if there was anybody coming from that direction or anyone coming from this direction. Very rarely. There was only one night where a drunk beaner, sorry to say that, that's what people call him in California, Mexican, he couldn't even speak English, but he tried to pickpocket me, and I felt somebody's hand on my ass. Well, I don't keep a wallet per se, and the last place I would put it is in my back pocket. Did that when I was a teenager. How many times did it fall out on the bus or something? But yeah, I would come in here. I had the storage locker at that place over there. That was a blessing, on the second floor. Slept in there when it was 40 below zero outside, actually. I know they wouldn't like to know that. Actually, this house on the corner here, it was for sale in 2019. And I watched, because I'd come back and forth through the neighborhood. I never really sat down in any place. I never panhandled. I never made myself obvious to anyone. The house was a different color and the porch was somewhat different, but one night after the family moved out, while the house was still for sale, there was a for sale sign, it started to rain. And I had my gear, which was kept in a special, particular medium-sized suitcase, which was a mat, a sleeping bag, camping pillow, some food, some water, things that I would have with me through the night. And so rather than sleeping in the storage place and risk losing my storage locker, I would come over here after 10 o'clock after they closed, and I would go to sleep. Usually by about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. If I wasn't tired, I would walk around the neighborhood a little bit with the suitcase. Really no place to dip it. Occasionally I would find a bush that was, I could tuck it in there so that I didn't have to carry the thing around and also make myself appear to be a target. People see you coming back and forth too much with we've all seen the homeless people that consider themselves, that they own that label, homeless. Homelessness is just a sign and symptom of a dysfunctional society. A healthy, loving society is just like a healthy, loving family. You would never leave a family member out in the cold if they had schizophrenia or mental health issues. Yeah, if they keep running away, like, we've all had a dog that no matter what you do with, short of chaining the dog down, it jumps the fence and it goes off, but even that dog will come back when it's hungry if it hasn't found its food. So yeah, I love this art center over here. It was just divinely orchestrated. And the people at the storage place were always very, very cool to me. So the storage place opens at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would sleep here until about 5 minutes to 6. I had my alarm set on my mobile device, pack my things up, and waddle back over to the storage locker, change my clothes. There's a restroom with a door that I could lock and go in there and wash, use the toilet, wash my face, wash whatever. I never let myself go to the point where I wasn't cleaned. And then there's a little laundromat around the corner here where I would keep my laundry in a special. I had a rather large towards the end until I lost it. I upgraded to like a 7 by 10. And I literally could stretch out on the floor. I had bedding down in there. I had a comforter. There's all these things that people leave behind. You know, that's why I always put stuff out. Anything that's usable, I don't put it in the trash dumpster. I really encourage people to stop throwing. You wouldn't believe how much money I find people throwing it away. Boy, there's a proper wearing of the mask. It's supposed to be over the nose because that's where the viruses go in. Oh my God. Friggin' mutants. Face diapers. So yeah, and then another reason why this was so good is because there's 2 24-hour gas stations here on the corner. So if, in the rare event at night that I had a toilet emergency, I had access to a 24-hour restroom, which, like so much since I lived on the street, has been upgraded. The owners of the McDonald's here on the corner did a remodel, and so there's nice clean bathrooms now. It used to be pretty crappy, but it's neither here nor there. I have been securely housed for the last 3 years and 3 months, and on the surface it feels like a tragedy that I'm going to give up my place, and I'm speaking with my housing advocate today. I've made this decision that this property management company is not going to get the benefit of 1 more month of my rent. I'm just not. I have been mistreated. I have been harmed. I have been left out in the cold. If it would not have been for my housing advocate and the services that she is able to access, another individual who had a more stable income than myself may have been able to purchase a hotel room for themselves, but through the pipe explosion and the resulting damage of everything that I own, everything has been damaged. I have documents, medical records, keepsakes, certificates of achievement, my high school diploma, all these things that mean something to all of us, but you know, I'm a big boy enough. I got my big boy pants on enough to be able to be unattached. They're so aggressive. The fucking drivers are so aggressive. Yeah. Can't wait to get yesterday's video up with the car on the fire hydrant. Maybe I'll do that today. Had a meeting with a housing attorney yesterday. Very handsome guy, young man. Milo. We'll call him Milo. And that is going to be what it's going to be. I didn't ask for any guesses as far as, what will be my success in making a claim against these people and receiving a settlement. That is what I feel I deserve. I probably would not have gone to this extent. I probably could have been tricked into signing off on a renter's insurance claim had they been even just fake nice and made some small effort to help me. I had to do all the labor myself. And that's what no one seems to understand here. I have a vision deficit and difficulty with depth perception. So I can function, but I have to be very, very careful all the time, every waking hour, no matter where I go, no matter what I do. I have to be careful that I don't have careless people around me because they might stumble me up. So all this effort that I do, that I have to make for my safety and my well-being, and I do it because I have no other choice. So this was my laundromat, and I loved coming here. Yeah, I love this place. Many, many times I thanked God that I could come here. There's a restroom back there, it's clean. The owners are a Palestinian couple, or they're from Beirut. But unfortunately, they seem to... there's a reverse form of racism that's also a dysfunction. It's understandable. Latino people, I'm sorry to say it, there's a segment, regardless of what version of Latino, not just Mexican, they have this chip on their shoulders that every white person is a bad person, and that we're all responsible in some way for their plight. And it really is funny now that I'm older and I've interacted. It is amazing how these people squirrel money away. Never judge a book by its cover. Although my grandmother was like that, and she got that from her father, my great-grandfather, Anton. They had wealth, but no one ever knew it. And that's okay. I think it's a form of humility. And it's also a way of... you keep undesirable people away from you. Anybody who's flaunting what they have, look out. Those are egomaniacs. They're narcissism out of control. So yeah, I was always so grateful to be here. The couple was generally nice to me, but they would never say hello to me the way that they said hello to the Latino people that came in here. And I would even walk down here, which is a 30-minute walk from my apartment, because I would rather have given them the money than using the laundry on the property where I live, where the kids were always hanging out smoking weed. That's another thing. These people at the property management company and my case manager are not putting this whole thing together. And I'm going to have to... This is not how I want to spend my time or energy right now. I really want to work on making my contribution to the planet. But for some reason, this situation is in my face, and I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to stand up for yourself. And I'm going to stand up for myself, and I will receive a settlement. And no one should underestimate me. I have been harmed here. I have been caused stress, distress. I was left out in the cold. I had to walk in the cold and in the rain in the days that followed. I put in 40 hours of physical labor, moving all my things, wet, damaged, and moldy. Thank God this creep at the property management company let me use the storage lockers, which just happened to be outside the back door of my apartment. So at least I didn't have to carry things up and down stairs or around to the other side of the building where there's storage. I was able to just shuttle it out there. And I had a padlock that I could secure my things. But I also was not able to get to many things that were wet because now I was off the property more than an hour away by bus. And sometimes twice a day, I would take the bus back and forth from the hotel to my home. And I was always kind and considerate to the men who were doing the work on the apartment. Let them know who I was, made my presence that I'm a human being. I had no idea if these men who are employees of the property management company, they work with our lovely maintenance guy. I call him Gaston behind his back. He's I think he's Ukrainian or something. But David's always pretty cheerful, and anytime I needed anything in the past, usually just minor stuff, I never overburdened the property management company with repairs that should have been done on the apartment before I moved in. They failed to clean the horribly greasy, ugly range over my stove, and the cupboards above were covered in... even the handles still today, I haven't been able to get it all off, but that should have been cleaned properly. Shame on you. They didn't clean underneath the stove. They didn't clean underneath the doors. I had Puerto Rican or black hair coming out for months, for nearly 2 years, to the point sometimes where it would happen, and even my boyfriend would say, "What is that coming out from underneath the door?" And I'm like, "I know. You guys did not clean that apartment properly. Shame on you." So, and all this work that's been done on the apartment since your pipe exploded, the owner of the building is going to get that. That's an investment in the property. I don't get anything out of that, except a place that should be in the condition of value that I'm paying for, and it's not. I still have a stove and an oven that does not work. And it's like, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. They sent somebody out who only moved the stove out and plugged it back in because I had it unplugged, because I feel unsafe. I feel stressed. I feel anxiety because I don't know if I'm getting an accurate temperature on the oven, and it shuts itself off. And I tried to bake a pizza. I wanted to bake a cake. I actually cook unlike some of the friggin' mutants, McDonald-eating motherfuckers. I don't care. I don't care if I'm sound offensive. I have been kind and good and a spiritual person, and you know what? You don't get to walk all over me. I don't float on air, and I'm not going to let anybody nail me to a cross. I'm not perfect. But you know what? This whole avoidance of saying anything that would make someone else have to self-examine themselves, bullshit. It's done. It ended yesterday. I'm letting everybody know. Look at yourself. I look at myself. I do the work. That's called spiritual work. That's how you become a master of yourself. That's the self-mastery work. Self-examination. You got to look in the mirror no matter how much, I just had another situation the other day where, it's like, look at yourself. Stop going around telling other people, I'm just encouraging everybody to look at themselves. So, at any rate, I'm going down to the library to photocopy some documents for Milo, the attorney, cute guy. And down at the library is Tyson. And I had a very meaningful conversation yesterday for about 20 minutes with Tyson. And God, it's torture, but he was very responsive, very receptive. And it's a wonderful thing when you can let someone know that they're attractive and you see them. If you don't think black people blush, try it. He did, and he's a big guy, and there's no shame in my game, Tyson. If there's any way possible, I'd like to know what it's like to be wrapped up in your arms. So yeah, I'm going to see Tyson today. I'm going to go do that work and email and stuff down at the library. Maybe I'll upload this video there. So, namaste, everyone. Be a blessing, not a burden. Be a blessing, not a butthead. Please be kind to pedestrians. God, oh God, oh God. Please. You don't want to live with an avoidable tragedy on your hands and on your heart. I could be your brother. I could be your uncle. I could be your father. I could be your grandfather. I could be your cousin. I could be the love of your life. The one person that you live for beyond anybody else. And imagine if somebody inadvertently took out the love of your life. What would that feel like? So stop terrorizing the pedestrians. Stop it. Namaste, folks.